Hello everyone, welcome back to some more of Virtue's Last Reward. Last time, what did we do last time? It's been a while for me. If I remember correctly, let's see. We did the second AB round. No. Oh, no, I remember now, sorry. We finished the crew quarters. No. Sorry, I'm just, it's been a while for me. I'm just trying to think. Let's see, we did Quark's bad ending, right? Yeah. After that, so we did bad ending Quark, then we continued onwards through the crew quarters into the director's office. And we solved the puzzle there, which took a while, of course. So, yeah, I guess we'll just continue on from there, see what happens next, and, yeah. We have the key anyways, so let's go. Out of here. Door lock. It says lock right now. You guys ready? Yeah. Go for it. Alright. 3, 2, 1. We did it. Alright, where are we going now? We went to the director's office, right? I was behind the red door, so this should still lead into the what was the place called? Lead into the floor B warehouse. Yes. Where is that going? Where are we going? Didn't we just go through the red door?
No.
We just went through the blue door.
Damn it!
What's wrong?
I left something in the director's office.
What was it?
The picture. Ugh, how could I forget it?
Didn't you go pick it up? Didn't you pick it up afterward? Yeah, we must have set it down after using that face recognition thing.
Yeah, I'm going back. You two go on ahead to the warehouse.
I want to come with you.
Nah,
Me too.
It's fine. Why don't you head back to the warehouse, Sigma? The others are probably already waiting.
Alright. I'll see you two later then.
Right.
Bye, Mr. Sigma.
I watched them jog off toward the blue door. And away they go. And then they were gone. Guess I should be getting back then. Oh yeah, that's right. They went through the white doors. Wow, I really have been out longer than I thought. I forgot this was our first game where we went through the white doors, I think. Alright, back to floor A. Warehouse A. Let's see what we got. So, I stepped into the warehouse to find all the other teams already there. Kay and Luna, Vi and Clover, and Dio. The moment Dio spotted me, he dashed over to the rightmost AP room and slid his card through the reader. Yeah, Dio, really? Yeah, Dio, come on, man.
An ambidex gate has been opened. 45 minutes remain until ambidex game polling closes.
As he turned to look at me, I swore I saw a flash of a smug grin.
There. Happy? This time I waited for you to get back before I opened it.
Yeah, bro?
You see? I can be considerate.
But Tim, Myoji, and Quark aren't exactly here.
Yeah, where are they?
I guess they forgot something back in the room we found. They ran back to grab it real quick.
And they'll be here in a few minutes. No big deal.
While we waited, we exchanged information about the rooms we had investigated. Unfortunately, none of it seemed very useful. None of us had found anything, and we were more closer to unraveling any of the increasing number of mysteries we were faced with. With that discussion exhausted, we sat down to wait. Before long, 20 minutes had passed since Dio opened the door, and Temyoji and Quark were no longer in sight.
Don't you think they're taking a little long?
20 minutes for what? Y'all just want to go back and get a picture.
Yes, I'm getting worried.
What is with my voice today? Seriously.
What if something happened to them?
I'll go have a look.
Then I shall accompany you.
Nah, I'll be fine by myself. It's not that far away.
Just don't look into the abyss too long, or you might become a monster.
What? That's... I don't think... okay. Look, I'm just gonna go to the director's office. I'll be right back. No big deal. Right. See you guys later. I gave a quick goodbye wave and stepped out of the warehouse. Alright. Back to... We can't skip this? Seriously? Like, they couldn't just have, like, a fade to black and then come back? Like, they had to do the whole walk across the map thing? They trying to pad out the runtime or something, or no? Okay. Where are they? Huh. That's odd. There's nobody here. The picture's gone, though. Tenmyoji and Quark must have been here then. I laid out the floor B map. Huh. They must have taken the door that faces the warehouse. After that, they probably went through with the warehouse and out the blue door to the elevator. Yeah, that's a much shorter route. On the other hand, I came through the red door, which is kind of the long way around. Huh. Looks like we managed to miss each other perfectly. Yeah. Well, this was a huge waste of time. Shoot. Might as well head back, I suppose. I'd packed up the map and was headed toward the door when... Huh? There was a light on where there hadn't been a light before. What? Why is that thing on? We messed with it earlier, but nothing seemed to work. I felt a sudden wave of inexplicable, nauseating dread. The light stared at me. I swallowed and edged cautiously toward it. The machine was in arm's reach now. I stretched my hand out toward it, slowly. Slowly.
So, you finally made it.
Oh. No. You're...
I am Zero. I was the one who brought you here. You undoubtedly have as many questions for me as there are stars in the sky. As you can see, however, this is only a recording.
Zero, huh?
I will therefore be unable to directly answer any questions.
Is he wearing... Huh.
Ask if you wish, but I cannot respond.
I considered taking a swing at him, but decided that was spectacularly futile and kept my bald fist at my side.
Now, where to begin? There are many things I wish to tell you, but unfortunately, our time is limited. As such, the information I can provide is also limited. I have chosen two things of great importance to tell you. First, I will tell you about termites.
What?
In retrospect, I suppose that's a rather odd thing to say. I imagine you look rather bewildered right now. Perfectly understandable. The person who kidnapped you and threatened you with death is lecturing you about insects. I suspect it hardly seems fair. Nonetheless, this is very important. In a way, it will determine your fate. So I ask that you listen carefully.
Okay.
Have you ever seen a termite mound? They are splendid structures. Some might even call them works of art. Termites are natural architects, and their mounds are both structurally sound and make excellent use of space. So, are they following some sort of plan as they build? Are there termite blueprints, detailing which room goes where? No, of course not. Each termite is simply an oblivious cog in a tremendous machine programmed by millions of years of termite DNA. It is doubtful an individual termite has any idea what its contributions are helping to create. But a human does. We can appreciate the elegant forms of their alien cathedrals. We can see the simple beauty of their perfect functionality. We can understand the splendid planning of their structure. In other words, only an intelligence of a higher order can understand the beauty of what the termite builds. Now, consider humans. Why are we alive? Why do we love and give birth? Why do we create? From where do our cultures spring? There are many theories, but no one knows the truth. We are oblivious cogs in a tremendous machine programmed by millions of years of human DNA. No doubt you see now what this analogy is supposed to illustrate. Yes, I mean to say humans are not different from termites. We trudge through our lives with no greater understanding of our ultimate goal. You might say we don't understand what we're building. Only an intelligence of a higher order than ours can understand what we're doing. Imagine how we might look to such an intelligence.
True.
We may be building some structure so perfect and elegant, we can't even perceive it. Whatever it is, we've likely been building it on a dimension just above the ones we know since time immemorial. If we are like the termites, then what we've created is almost certainly something of tremendous beauty. And you are about to catch a glimpse of it. Or have you already?
Oh?
Well, that's enough on that subject, I think. Consider what I've said.
What about the other thing exactly?
Now, let's move on to the second topic. It is somewhat more immediately meaningful to your life, and, in fact, the lives of several billion other people.
Oh,
I
it's...
realize this is rather sudden, but I have a password for you.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'll be... Wait a second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. I'll explain what I just did in a second.
It is the password to disarm the bomb, numbered 1.
But... Bomb?
Are you ready? I will only say this once, so pay close attention. The password to disarm the number 1 bomb is BQZ RGJ DXR.
Okay. BQZ. Alright, there. Sorry. Okay, shoot. How do I explain this? Okay, I'll explain it like this. On most of the routes in this game, you get a password that you'll have to use at some point playing the game. Yeah, I don't want to spoil too much, but yeah, think of it this way. Whenever you hear someone who says, oh, here's a password for such and such, and you get like 9 letters in that specific format, write it down. Because it will be used for something. I mean, I say later on, it's more like at the very end of the game, but it'll be used later on in the game. Alright, great. I had no idea what he was talking about. What bomb? Was he saying there were bombs too? If he'd guessed at my future confusion, he showed no sign of it.
That is the last of the information this message was meant to convey. Before I go, however, I have a warning. You cannot tell any of your companions what you heard or saw here. If you do, you will be penalized immediately.
Yeah, is this supposed to be a message for just us then, Zero?
I hope we will meet again someday. We would have much to discuss.
Wait! You can't just spout all that stuff and disappear. I found myself yelling at empty air. The hologram had disappeared. Ugh. What kind of idiot does he take me for? Termites? Other dimensions? How could that have anything to do with kidnapping us? Ta! I kicked out on a nearby shelf.
10 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
10 minutes?
All players, please enter your votes. If no vote is recorded before the deadline has passed, any non-voting parties will automatically ally.
Ah, no. I need to get back. Not like there's any point in staying here. I spun and ran out of the room toward the warehouse.
Grandpa! Look! Mr. Sigma's back!
Took you long enough.
Let me guess, everyone's already in their rooms waiting. Where are the others?
In the AB rooms.
They went in already?
Yep.
Why didn't you two? Have you been waiting for me?
Yeah! Grandpa said there was something he had to tell you before we voted, no matter what.
Oh?
Nothing that significant. Just wanted to tell you we're going to choose ally this round. That's it.
And you had to tell me that no matter what? Seems kind of pointless. I mean, words are cheap. You can promise whatever you want.
True, but we've got something to back it up. Just hear me out.
Okay, go ahead.
Quark and I both have 8 BP. We're already on the home stretch. So what do we need to get to the magic number? Well, we need you to choose ally.
Oh.
If you do that, it doesn't really matter to us what we pick.
You get to 9 BP whether you got 2 or 3 points. But then, why would you tell me this? I could just click betray and...
Exactly. That being the case, we don't have any reason to betray you. And if we both choose ally, we both gain points.
True. But you must have considered that I'll choose betray. That would mean you choose betray to protect yourselves.
But that's why we're telling you we won't choose betray.
Mm-hmm.
Can I trust you?
Of course.
Alright. Tell me one thing. Let's say we do this and both ally. Everyone gets 2 points. That would mean you and Quark will have enough to leave, which is great for you, but I'll be stuck with a measly 5. How do I know you aren't going to just open the number 9 door and leave us in the lurch?
I can guarantee it.
How?
I can give you my word. I will not open the number 9 door, even if I have enough points to do so. I swear it. We aren't going to abandon everybody else just so we can escape.
I swear too. I promise.
Man. So all you've got is a promise, huh?
When I make a promise, I keep it. Trust me.
Please! You've got to trust us.
Well, alright then. Fine. I'll trust you. Let me guess, 1 minute?
2 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
2 minutes, okay.
We're counting on you, Sigma.
You've got to choose ally.
Okay.
You promised.
With that, they turned and ran into the AB room second from the right. Well, I guess I should get moving. Alright, ally it is, I suppose. We have no real reason to pick betray after all. Doesn't seem like they'll betray us.
1 minute remains until Ambidex game polling closes.
I had a decision to make. Should I trust Quark and Tenmyoji? Well, I could believe they were telling the truth and still betray them. That would bring my BP to 6. I'd be that much closer to 9. And choosing betray would guarantee that they wouldn't try to escape with the rest of us. Betrayal seemed like the safe bet, but...
Please! You've got to trust us. You've gotta choose ally. You promised.
Tenmyoji I could betray easily enough, but Quark? What the heck was I going to do?
10 seconds remain until Ambidex game polling closes. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
There we go. Vote's been recorded. Let's see what we got.
Round 3 of the Ambidex game has been completed. Results will be displayed in the warehouse. Thank you for your Ambidex gates now opening. Results from round 3 of the Ambidex game will now be displayed. Please direct your attention to the results screen.
Alright, what do we got? Betray, of course. Betray Al. Oh. Why did you betray me? Why did you betray me? What?
Points have been assigned or subtracted accordingly.
Why?
Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points.
Why? Hey! What the heck, guys? Why'd you betray me?
Quark had nothing to do with this. I made the vote.
Grandpa.
Alright, fine. Why'd you break your promise, Tenmyoji?
I only promised you one thing. We wouldn't open the number 9 door, even if we got 9 points.
Then what was the point of betraying me in the first place? What? So, you're not gonna leave?
Not what I said. Of course we're going to leave.
What?
Look, see Clover over there?
What? Already? Why are you so fast? Don't tell me. Yeah, Clover?
Oh no.
Jeez.
That bitch!
Wait. Quark and Tenmyoji have...
The words were buried out of her mouth when Tenmyoji and Quark ran past.
No! God damn it!
Clover, are you really going to leave? Well, yeah. Why else would I open the door?
But why?
I'm going to go call the others, so we can capture Zero Senior.
Tenmyoji, are you and Quark going too?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Sorry, everybody.
So Sigma, happy? I kept my promise. Clover opened the door, not me.
Yeah, Tenmyoji, like heck I'm happy. That's some shady stuff, Tenmyoji.
If you say so. I have to get out of here, and that's that. He's gotta pay for what he's done.
He?
Zero.
You mean you know who Zero Senior is?
Yeah. No point keeping it a secret now, I suppose. I know exactly who Zero Senior is.
What?
The number 9 door has been opened. It will remain open for 9 seconds.
Let's go. Come on, guys. Time to move.
Right.
Oh, wait! This is for you, Mr. Sigma.
What? Quark held something out. I looked down to see 2 pieces of folded paper. What is this?
It's a letter. I wrote it in the director's office before the AB game. I wanted to tell you what kind of guy Grandpa is. So, read it, okay?
He pressed it into my hand.
See you later, Mr. Sigma.
Then he turned and ran toward the door, Temyoji and Clover following in his footsteps. I was so surprised by the letter I never even tried to stop them. Before I could think of anything to say,
See you.
Goodbye.
The number 9 door has closed. This ends the nonary game. Thank you for your participation. As the game is over, all doors other than the number 9 door have been unlocked. Escape is not possible. Please enjoy your stay.
Shit! They're gone.
All we can do now is hope they bring help back.
Indeed.
I agree.
I looked down at Quark's letter and slowly unfolded it. His handwriting was still slightly uneven, but he'd filled both pages with writing. I began to read. It was a really stormy day when he found me. He said the rain was coming down so hard it almost hurt, but somehow he managed to hear a baby crying. I guess I must have been crying pretty loud. He took me home and did his best to raise me, but he'd never been married or had a kid before, so I think it was really hard for him. He couldn't figure out how to mix the formula, so he was always carrying the directions around with him. Also, I guess I was a pretty picky eater, so if he didn't get the right water to formula ratio just right, I wouldn't eat it. I guess I was kind of a pain, huh? But he didn't give up. And now here I am. When he found me, I was really, really small. He was worried that I might not make it. That's why he named me Quark. A quark is a really, really small thing, and I was really, really small too. Grandpa didn't need to worry though, because it turned out that I was pretty tough. When I was 1, he forgot I was sleeping in the bed of his truck and drove off. I rolled out and went off the back, but I didn't even get scratched. I started walking when I was 2. When he wasn't looking, I fell down the stairs. I didn't get hurt then either. When I was 3, I got really sick. I had a super high fever for a week, but eventually I got better. I guess you could say I'm pretty lucky. Anyway, I didn't have any more accidents after that, and I was a pretty healthy kid. By the time I was 6, I started helping Grandpa out with his work. His job was to gather junk from the abandoned buildings. Then he'd fix it up or pull out the useful parts and sell them. There were plenty of abandoned buildings, but finding good stuff in them was hard. You had to know which parts were useful, or you could end up wasting a bunch of time. Every time I'd find something, he explained to me what it was, how it was supposed to work, how to fix it, all sorts of things. Usually, though, I just wanted to finish up work so I can go to the theater. The theater came to our town once a week in a wagon. They'd show old news or movies. I went every single week, but Grandpa only went once in a while, and he'd only go weeks when they showed movies. Oh yeah, I didn't know that I'd been adopted till I was 7. One of the other kids on my block told me. I guess after Grandpa found me, he looked all over town and tried to find someone who'd take me. The kid from my block actually had a mom, and he'd asked her if she would take me too. I gotta admit, I was pretty shocked when I heard that. There weren't a lot of kids with parents around, so hearing that someone lived with his actual mom was pretty impressive. Oh wow. I was also surprised that Grandpa tried to get someone else to take me. Did that mean he didn't want me? The kid who told me about Grandpa trying to get rid of me was a real jerk. He was totally spoiled, and he'd brag to everyone about how he had a mom. He liked to come up to me and ask me while I was working and say stuff like, "Must be hard not having a mother." It never bothered me before, but after I found out that Grandpa had adopted me, I started to think that maybe he didn't really want me. If I could work on my own, then he could get rid of me. I was scared to know the truth, so I never asked him. Then one day, he took me to a bar in our neighborhood. During the day, of course. He went there sometime to drink scotch, but I'd never gone before. When we got in, he just walked up to the counter with that grumpy look he has, and I thought, oh no, he's gonna make me work here, but I was wrong. I saw him pass something to the bartender, and then he picked me up and set me down on a stool next to the counter. The stool was pretty high, especially for a 7-year-old kid, and my legs just dangled off it. It seemed really, really high to me, and I was pretty nervous. Eventually, the bartender came back over with a glass of scotch and another big glass full of something else. As I looked closer, I realized that the second glass was full of some sort of brown liquid with a scoop of ice cream in it. It took me a minute to realize what it was. A root beer float! I'd never seen one before. I was so surprised. Root beer was even more expensive than the nicest alcohol in the bar. To me and the other kids, it seemed like more than an urban legend than a real drink. But there it was, right in front of me. I stared at the float. I still wasn't sure if it was real at that point, and then turned to look at Grandpa. He looked back at me. I didn't know what to do, so I turned to the bartender. He had already turned around and moved off though, so I figured he must have put the glass down in front of me on purpose. It still didn't seem like it could be real, and I was just staring at it when Grandpa told me to hurry up and drink it before the ice cream melted. His gruff voice sounded like an angel's. Is this really mine? He nodded. Words can't describe how awesome it was. I had never tasted anything like root beer before. The creamy sweetness of the ice cream made my entire head feel light. I felt like the luckiest boy in the whole world. That's not an exaggeration. I really thought that. The root beer float was delicious, but what made me even happy was Grandpa. When I looked over at him, he was smiling. I know that's gotta be hard for you to imagine, but he really was. Right then, I didn't care whether he'd just found me and adopted me or not. He'd bought me a root beer float. That made me way luckier than some kid who had a mother but had never tasted root beer. Of course, after we left the bar, he was the first kid I bragged to. So, Grandpa and I were doing pretty good. Until the fight. I was in a super bad mood that day. I had torn one of my shoes that morning, and some old drunk guy had yelled at me. All the junk I found was totally useless. The day was almost over, and I was fed up, so I just grabbed some random trash and took it back to the house. When I showed what I found to Grandpa, he frowned. He started going through each thing I'd brought back, explaining why they were all useless. I got really mad and just yelled, "I don't care." Then he got mad, and I couldn't take it anymore, so I ran away. I was pretty upset, and I started thinking that maybe Grandpa had only adopted me so he could raise me to work and make money for him. After a while, I went and hid in an abandoned building, but by then I started to calm down and think that maybe I should go back and apologize. It had started raining pretty hard though, so I decided to wait for it to stop. But that was just an excuse. The truth was that I was nervous. Part of me knew I'd done something wrong, but didn't want to admit it. The rain didn't stop though, so I just sat there, staring out at the gloomy gray sky. I imagined Grandpa coming to get me. It kept raining all night, and he never showed up. I gave up waiting and decided it was time to go home. I was about halfway there when I heard somebody groaning. At first I thought to ignore it, and I should just ignore it and not get involved. But I went over anyway, and it was Grandpa. He was totally soaked, and I could tell right away that he'd been in there for a really long time. I yelled, and he opened his eyes a little bit. He smiled weakly and said he was glad I was safe. He spent all night out in the rain, looking for me. I felt awful. Grandpa had been out in the rain looking for me so long he'd collapsed. I was horrible. He'd heard me crying in the rain, but I hadn't heard him. As I ran to get the doctor, I promised whatever God might be listening that if they could only ever save Grandpa, I'd never ask for another root beer float ever again. He got a real bad fever. and his temperature wouldn't go down for days. The doctor said that if it kept up, he'd die. If he died, then I'd be all alone. There wouldn't be anybody left to care for me. Or about me. The thought of that happening terrified me. Fortunately, I must have passed some of my luck on to Grandpa, because a week later his fever finally broke. I was glad he wasn't going to die, but I was also a little scared. What if I had decided he didn't want a What if he had decided he didn't want a stupid kid like me around anymore? My plan was to apologize just as soon as he woke up, but when the moment came, my brain just stopped. Grandpa started to talk, and it took me a minute to realize he was apologizing. I didn't know what to think. He explained that he was an old man, and that meant he was probably going to die sooner rather than later. He was strict with me because he wanted to make sure I'd be able to make it on my own after he was gone. But maybe he'd been a little too strict. All the things I'd worried about had been stupid and selfish. Grandpa cared about me a whole lot. He'd been worried when I ran off, and he got out into the rain to look for me. I tried to apologize, but when I opened my mouth, I just started crying. I don't think I've ever cried that much since I was a baby. But he just smiled and patted my head. I asked him if he'd ever regretted adopting me. His eyes got all wide and he said, "Of course not." He told me that he was looking for a really important lady, and because of that, he'd had to give up on pretty much everything else in his life. But when he took me in and started raising me, he felt like he'd gotten some of what he had lost back. That was when I decided I'd stay with him forever, even if he said I couldn't. Oh my god. Wow. Well, this was a nice route, I suppose, right? Can I skip this? Oh, they let you skip it this time. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry. It's just for Clovers we couldn't skip it, so. Alright. Tenmyoji's ending. Well, Tenmyoji's good ending. That's pretty good. I guess that's saving this slot here. Should get Tenmyoji's picture there. Please. Alright. Tenmyoji and Clover. Well. Oh well. Alright. I guess next up we're gonna do. We're like, what, 40 minutes in? We have enough time to do one other thing. And maybe start another route? No. We'll probably just do this ending, I guess. Well, not ending, but wherever this leads. The betray path leads. And, yeah, I guess we'll pick one of these two paths to go on. Huh. You know what? I'll talk more a bit about this when we actually finish this route. So let me do this right quick. Back to the AB game. This time we're gonna pick betray, because last time they betrayed us. So la da 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 da. Betray. All right. So. Betray, that means they're not going to get any points, so I wonder what's going to happen next.
Results from round 3 of the Ambidex game will now be displayed. Please direct your attention to the results screen.
What do we got? Let's see. Betray ally. Betray. Oh, I half thought it was gonna pick ally for a second, but I guess Clover's going by herself again, huh?
Been assigned or subtracted accordingly. Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points.
Hey, what's the deal?
Quark had nothing to do with it. I entered the vote.
So why'd you choose betray?
Couldn't I ask you the same thing? I don't really think this is the time for a fight, though. Look, Clover's over by the door.
What? Oh no. And of course she leaves, because why doesn't she? Okay. I'll skip through this, because I'm pretty sure we can kind of understand what's going to happen next, yeah? I'll just skip through dialogue manually.
Fuck, she opened it.
Why?
Clover!
And Clover's the only one going, right? Yeah. Clover! What the heck do you think you're doing?
I'm going to call the others.
What?
I'll get justice for Alice.
Justice? Wait, do you mean...
The number 9 door has been opened. It will remain open for 9 seconds.
Time for me to go. No! Please, Clover, wait!
Like hell, I'm just gonna let you walk out of here.
Dio leapt at Clover, his fist raised. Clover easily avoided him and moved toward the door.
Goodbye.
I caught one last glimpse of her face as she slid through the door. It was a mask of ice.
The number 9 door has closed. This ends the nonary game. Thank you for your participation. As the game is over, all doors other than the number 9 door have been unlocked. Escape is not possible. Please enjoy your stay.
Alright. And that's Tenmyoji's other bad ending, huh? Alright. Let's save again just to be sure. Whoa, our playtime's 12 hours? Good God. Sorry, it's just 12 hours. Wow. How are we at 12 hours? This is episode what, 9? I guess some time must have been spent doing the puzzle, so I guess that's fair. Never mind then. Alright though, so we have like what, maybe 20 minutes left, so maybe we could start another route, or maybe we should do that next time, huh? Anyways, beyond that we have 2 different routes. If we take the what was it, cyan and magenta doors respectively. These are red. Yeah, this is red. Okay, yeah. So the cyan and magenta doors, right. Now, these 2 lead to 2 completely different routes with 2 completely different twists and turns along them. I remember bits and pieces of what these lead to, but I don't remember the full thing. Ah, crud. Okay. Huh. I know that this route, whatever this is, leads to a lot of the bigger twists, so I'm not sure if we should reveal that. Huh. Well, then again, there are different locks on each of the paths, as we all know. So I might start doing one path, end up finding a lock, and then, oh, nope, sorry, I gotta go do something else, and, well, you know how it goes. Okay. 45 minutes in, okay, I'm trying to think about what's on each path, because I don't want to look at a flow chart and get boiled, because then that's like, you know, you know what? We'll do this route because sorry, we'll do this route because I feel like because this route kind of answers a lot more of the questions that this game kind of raises for the plot and such, I think this route's probably a better one to go on, because it answers some questions, I think, whilst making more to answer. So yeah, we're gonna do that next time. Why? Because, well, new episode, new route, you know how it is. Let's come over here to where the junction point is. Let's save one last time. And, yeah. Wow, though. We've done a lot in this route, haven't we? If I remember correctly, we made our choice, right? We found and got through our first lock. Let's see, go down. And we found out a lot more about Tenmyoji. So, yeah. I guess I'll preface this right now by saying that, each of the good endings in this game revolves around a certain character. Hence the character portraits on the ending sprites, and why you say, oh, Clover end, Clover game over, because each character has one good ending and at least one bad ending. And on each of their routes, you hear more about them as characters. And every character in this game gets one. So, I think Zero the Third. I mean, Zero the Third doesn't have a specific route, but it does have. Well, we'll talk about it when we get there. Anyways, though, that's it for these two routes. Next time we're gonna try and handle one of these, one of these three routes. So, I guess with that being said, thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time.